Yeah.
This is the coolest show in the history of television.
Yeah, it's the coolest show in the history of television. Yeah.
Oh, we vibing,
everyone.
Dave. We vibing.
Big vibe, big energy. Episode 52, the Toy Owl podcast. We got a banger. We have the one, the only, Mr. 6-inch question mark himself, Jade Toys from the Geek Out Show. What is up, dog?
I've probably heard the term 6-inch question mark more times than I care to admit in my life. I'm doing good, man. How are you guys? It's good to be here on the Toy Owl podcast. I got to say, I don't think I've ever tuned in right away. The intro video, dude, that was probably, I've been sitting here laughing for the last 30 seconds. So love it. Love that.
Yeah, it's quite an upgrade. I think it's pretty good. When Dave sent that over to me and said, "Hey, check this out," and I'm like, "Oh, this is absolute gold!" You know, to be able to show that this is the greatest show on the face of the planet. So, everybody, thank you for being here with us today.
I think you literally said, Kevin, I cackled when I sent that to you. So
I was over here just a minute ago, just totally into it, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch some Beavis and Butthead after this, dude. Yeah, it's good, man. So yeah, dude, thanks for coming on. We've been homies for a little bit, you know, on the Instagram and shit like that, and you know, wanted to get you on the Toy Owl podcast here, man. So tell our listeners about, you know, the Geek Out Show and kind of what you guys are doing over there, to anyone that, you know, hasn't heard of your guys' show before.
Totally. So the Geek Out Show is actually like the pillar show of the Geek Out Network. It was actually started by Gil Black Hole Comics on Instagram and the former host Seth, who's taken a hiatus since then. And he's brought us on, man, and we just talk about all the things geeky, comic books, cartoons, collectibles, anime, video games. I mean, anything and everything under the sun that us geeks like, man. And then it just kind of spun out of control from there to where there's a movie podcast called Peanut Gallery. There's What's the Issue, a comic book podcast, Cantina with my buddy Heath. We talk everything Star Wars. So it's getting out of control, really and truly.
All I got to say is that with how good your naming conventions are, you need to be doing work for some third-party naming because, I mean, we all know that they struggle with some of their namings, but your names to everything you do is spot on. Congratulations, man.
So I'm going to go ahead and just, since the other hosts aren't here to defend themselves, I'm going to take full credit for that.
Take it all, baby. Take it all.
Yeah.
We struggled with when we nailed Tube Talk. We were like, whoa, we're super creative. Like
we're in the money now.
Yeah. Well, nice, man. Well, hey, so you know the network thing is something that I think is, you know, awesome. You know, you're kind of, you know, spinning off and doing all these kind of random you know, focused shows. I love other, you know, podcasts that do, like Yes Have Some. They've kind of spun off and branched off and do specific shows too. I think that's such a cool concept, and you know, it's a testament to what you guys are doing. You know, if you're able to have kind of, you know, your host network and then have all these little pocket podcasts, it's awesome, dude.
It's definitely fun because the more new people that come on, and you know, we do a lot of interview shows and guest shows, and we start realizing how diverse our listeners are, and just kind of try to give them everything. Yeah, I'm finally here. I finally got a camera. Fucking Matt made me. Living here in the Stone Age. Yeah.
YouTube ready.
So it's been a lot of fun, man. And again, thanks for having me on. It's quite a buttload of stuff to talk about this week.
Yeah, there is, man. Before we get into that, you know, can you just kind of, you know, what do you collect? Like, what would you say? Like with Kevin, obviously, you know, he's a 6 scale guy. I'm kind of like a bunch of shit, you know, but like, do you have like a main go-to? Like, are you a completist in certain lines, or do you kind of just like, I know you're really into comics. So, you know, what is it that you kind of gets you going, you know, when you go to the toy aisle and whatnot?
So big thing. I'm a Star Wars fan first and foremost. That's like where it all starts. So Black Series, Vintage Collection, incredibly important to me. I've just gotten into like some of the helmets and
Okay.
I collect Mando hot toys. So it's kind of spun out of control like it usually does with us. So Marvel Legend, pretty much everything 1/12 Marvel Legends. Super into GI Joe, and that's probably about it. Ninja Turtles, a big Ninja Turtles guy. So
Okay, I didn't know that.
You can't tell because of my walls are really bare. I like to keep it really, really minimal. I keep everything stashed. So yeah, pretty much that, man. Joe's and Star Wars take the cake there.
Well, the big question we have to ask naturally is: are you an in-box collector, an out-of-box collector? What is you said it's stashed. What does your collection look like?
So 98% open. I open everything. I like to pose, dioramas.
Let them breathe.
Got into the photography a little bit.
Nice.
ACBA. I've been out of it for a long time though, just busy with real life. But yeah, vintage collection, that's something I like to keep in box. I think that's kind of part of collecting that line. But other than that, I'm a play with them till you break them and then buy another one kind of guy.
That's right, baby. That's right. Yeah, I'm. So did you kind of start off at like keeping them in the box and then made a change, or were you just always opened them up?
So when I got into like collecting heavily, it started off in box, like, oh man, look, Star Wars toys in the box. That's kind of cool, and pick them up. Got like 20 or 30 of them. I'm like, man, I don't have room for fucking boxes anymore. Crack them all open and like, what have I been doing for the last year keeping this stuff in the box?
Dude, that's exactly what I did. I kind of felt like that was what you were supposed to do. Like I felt like I had to buy them, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start collecting again. I need to get them, keep them mint on card or mint in box or whatever. And then I got to like a space problem, and I was like, well, I got no way, but to display them. And then it was just like, open up the floodgates. And then I'm like, looking back, I can't believe I did that. You know what I mean? Just had boxes. Like I had all the Red Series boxes of the figures, like on the side.
Exactly.
Like, you can even see them. I'm like, dude, what am I doing, man?
I actually, when we moved out of our apartment into our house, that's when I had the epiphany that I need to get rid of these boxes because there's no point of me moving them with the figure. And I was like, this is not happening. We can't be doing this. And I literally had bookcases in the garage stacked with just empty boxes. I'm like, why am I doing this? And so it was so liberating to finally crush them and put them in the garbage can. So I know people are probably listening just squeaming right now, knowing that we're crushing boxes. They'll be like, what are you doing? Fuck!
Recycle, earth first.
Correct.
Recycle,
Forgive me. Yes.
I even went through. You guys, we've been friends on Instagram for a while, so I like to troll a lot of the pages.
No,
not at all. So I went through this phase where I let my little baby daughter rip all my toys open and just post those. So a lot of fun making those nerds squeal.
I did that when I was like, I wouldn't say heavily into Funko Pops, but I will admit
everyone goes through a Funko. That's the thing. Everyone goes through a Funko Pop phase.
Gateway drug, bro.
This is not a Funko channel.
I've got some hidden up here. Like I've limited it to 6 or 7 of them at this point.
Yeah, dude. We say it all the time. It's a gateway drug. Gets people kind of into the collecting world, and then they kind of gravitate to other shit. But I had a chase, and I let my 2-year-old at the time just completely destroy the box, and it was a chase, and like I got a lot of shit for that, but whatever.
All for the
dick.
Yeah, all for the clicks, baby.
All for the clout, baby. Yeah. All right. Well, cool, dude. Happy to have you on the show this episode. Let's jump into Jedi Council real quick. All right. So Jedi Council, we're gonna obviously get into the news and kind of get everyone's reactions and shit. But I mean, it's San Diego Comic Con at home, whatever we want to call it. I mean, it's season, baby. This is like training camp, you know. And I mean, dude, with NECA, Sideshow, Kevin, you're gonna be going all over, you know, the Sideshow. But I want to talk about NECA. I mean, did you guys, either of you guys, watch the live video with Blaine and you know, the NECA team that they did yesterday?
Inform me, my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but part of the Geek Out show is I like to take notes for everything. So I do everything on my iPad notes. And I was able to catch a lot. I mean, I might not have caught it all. There's so much shit. Like they really kicked it off big time. Yeah, they I mean, Kevin, I'm sure you saw all the, you know, kind of reposters and whatnot, so you probably got the cliff notes. But yeah, dude, there was a fucking lot of stuff. So the turtle stuff. I mean, that's something that we just don't really cover here. I know Mighty Mouse, you know, gives us shit all the time for not covering, you know, anything turtles. But you know, what were you pumped for? Like that 4-pack that they did? Everyone just assumed it was going to be turtles. Yeah. You know, everyone's like, oh, if it's a 4-pack, it's going to be something turtles. Then and it was that April O'Neil. You know, and her crew, that 4-pack, and yeah, it looks sick, dude. Yeah, I like the way exclusives are heading recently, where it's not a main character that everybody has to have. Yep. And they're going more to these tertiary characters, and that's the way exclusives are supposed to be. Absolutely. Not and even NECA going as far as online, it's going to be $175 if you want the swag pack, t-shirt, fucking badge and all that stuff. Or I mean, go fight it out in the store for $125. So right, giving people the options, very cool there. I really think NECA is handling, you know, how to make an exclusive, you know, and not like, all right, like I can't think off the top of my head, but like with Hasbro, you know, like, hey, we're gonna make, you know, this Kenner Boba Fett, you know, an exclusive. Like, dude, like everybody wants that figure, you know, like anybody who knows what a Boba Fett is wants that fucking figure. You know what I mean? Sorry, guys, I'm gonna keep cracking them open here. No,
we're proud of you to do so.
Yeah, I think they're really kind of handling, you know, what to make an exclusive. You know, a subtle difference of a figure that they've already released is another example of what I like to see in kind of an exclusive. But yeah, they really knocked it out of the park with the turtle stuff. Some notes that I kind of took that I'm excited about. Predator, dude, we haven't talked about Predator in a while, but they have most of the Lost Tribe. They have 6 of the Lost Tribe figures, and there's 10 of them. So, and they did confirm that we're gonna be getting into other 4 eventually. So that's gonna be a really cool set. You know, once you know you can get all 10 of the Lost Tribe, like that's been in the works for like I can't remember when the first one came out, but it's been over 6 years for sure. Do you mess with the Predators at all, Jade? I'm not a Predator guy. Let me rephrase that. I'm not a Predator collector. But I wanted to ask you, is that pretty hard to backpedal and grab those other ones, or is that something you could do, like if you wanted to? Some of them, I mean, just like anything, right? Some of the older ones are going to be up there, you know. But I don't think any of them are going over like $100. But I mean, I could be wrong. I haven't looked in a while. I think I have 4 of them, so I do have 4 of them. But not a lot of things make me more upset in collecting when these brands don't finish a team. So I like to see when they do something like this, like keep the day ones supported the whole way through. Absolutely. Yep. Let's see. The other thing we got some more Back to the Future stuff that's pretty cool, like an 85 Doc Griff from Back to the Future 2, which is going to be pretty sweet. Some The Boys. Do you watch that show, The Boys? Dude, I get a lot of shit for this over at the Geek Out Show. I've never even got through episode 1.
You never got through episode 1, or you never started episode 1?
I started it up until like A-Train ran through his girlfriend, right?
What, the first 28 seconds?
Yeah, pretty much. Like right away. Get sidetracked, and I never got into it. I don't know. I mean, I'm familiar with it. It's just it never tickled my. I know you guys are pickle haters, but tickled
We
me.
are pickle haters. But I think that's going to make it onto another shirt next week. Is tickle my pickle. I definitely think that's going to be on there.
Pickle haters. Hashtag pickle haters.
But all that to say is that if you can make it another 35 seconds or so, give it another shot. I promise you that is one worth watching.
Dude, yeah, it gets, and it took you a little bit to get into it, right, Kevin? Weren't you like a late bloomer there?
It was like an episode and a half.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's solid. Well, and is where we already have the two figures, and we're getting a Black Noir and A Train. The Black Noir figure looks really nice, and we also got the Universal monsters. I was super pumped that they started making those. You know, we got the couple variations of Frankenstein, the Wolfman, and then they just revealed that we're getting the Mummy. So super stoked on that. I hope they get, you know, the whole main crew of the Universal monsters done. But yeah, I'm pumped. You know, we're in that San Diego Comic-Con thing. There's going to be, you know, all the trailers are going to start kind of dropping, you know, and just getting news left and right. So it's exciting time for sure, man.
I know this isn't a dude talk. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man. I interrupted you.
No. This is your show, man. I'm the one over here interrupted. It's getting a little hard to keep up with, man. I'm sure you guys are finding that out. Like, It's hard to keep up with all that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like with Comic-Con, you know, it was, you know, one event, right? Like now you have to keep up with every, you know, vendor and manufacturer's own event. Like Hasbro, like no one has an idea of when that Hasbro Pulse Con is happening. They just said peace, San Diego. We're gonna do our own thing again. Yeah. It was really good for us. So more power to them. Yeah. I mean, I'd like to know when that is, you know, but yeah, it's going to be in the fall. NECA, I mean, the Sideshow one was good. What else? I feel Mattel. I don't think Mattel's like announced anything yet, but
Sideshow Con, Mando Con, Mezco Con. I mean,
yep.
Going back to the Hasbro Con, I mean, do we really need, and we'll talk about it in a second, do we really need to have the cons when the people just reveal what's coming on live streams? Because apparently you don't even need any of those things.
Right. Yeah, no, I think what was it, Fall Out Boy last year? No, yeah, they definitely need to do like straight up reveals. You know, they can't have any bullshit that, like, you know, Yakface is already, you know, found out, and, you know, everybody that's a Star Wars collector like already knows about. Like, no, like you gotta give us like some fresh reveals for sure.
I feel bad for the guy and the guys and the whole team in general, because, you know, it is that marketing train it's a big deal, right? Like, I mean, there's a whole team that get paid to do that. So when these other guys get into it and figure it all out, it's like, all right, what we're doing is outdated. We need to figure something else out and be ahead of social media, really and truly.
Yeah. I do give them, you know, some slack in that regard. Like, you know, the timing, and like, you know, they got the Lucasfilm group that's probably like, oh no, you can't. Yeah. We don't want you dropping this figure yet until this episode comes out, or this movie drops, or this comic comes out. You know, there's a lot of, you know, variables that I'm sure a lot of folks, you know, don't see at face value, you know, but yeah, they do got to do better. Like if they're showing something that's like, you know, in a pipeline and it's literally already on the shelves in Target, like they're a little late, you know.
100%.
Well, let's shift gears here and let's get into some latest pickups. See what we all got. All right, so Kevin, are we keeping the streak alive, man?
Of course we're keeping the streak alive, Dave. Of course we're keeping the streak alive. And in addition to keeping the streak alive, I want to let you know that most likely the streak will continue even into next week, because that lost package finally made its way through customs in Chicago this week. So I'm hoping to have that by the next show. But as anticipated, we do have another continuation of a lovely pickup that I would love to share with you. This one is a little bit out of the box, and I kind of spoiled it a little bit on an unboxing on Instagram. But let's share it with the rest of the class, shall we? That being Venomized Groot.
Oh, yeah.
How cool is this little thing? This thing is really, really cool. Like, I was kind of hesitant at first when it was kind of announced, and then I don't give into hype beasts. I don't. I trash them on my YouTube channel all the time about the hype beasts out there, and I'm not one myself. But if there's something I see that I want and I'm willing to take a gamble on, I go all in on those things. But I have the original life-size Baby Groot, and so I said, why not just add another Baby Groot to the collection? And if you like Venom, I mean, this one is really cool. I mean, it's fun. It's it's really cool to pose. Let's see, there we go. And it's a fun little character. It's very superposable. Got all kinds of good stuff and goodies with it. So yeah, the streak's alive, man, with Baby Groot.
I was I didn't see that coming, man. I would have never guessed in a million years that you would go after a Venomized Groot. Looks great though.
I think because it's Baby Groot. I'm not interested in any of the other Venomized characters. That Venomized Iron Man that literally looks like a tarantula is coming out of its chest looks ridiculous. But this is comical enough and cute enough to where I'm all in on that. So happy to grab this little guy.
I can see that. Yeah, you can justify pretty much anything. But yeah, that's a good rationalization for sure. All right, Jade, you pick up anything this week, man?
I did, man. Are you guys so? Have you ever heard of Excess Ray Studios, the Combatants? I'm sure you have. Oh, really? So it's
news to me.
So it's this little company. Well, I don't know if they're little or not. It's a company out of China that started these import style combatant gladiators. And they the first wave was 3 figures. They kind of came out of nowhere. No one really knew about them. I got those 3 kind of like on a hunch. $60 a figure, right? It's not something you would just gamble on, some no-name company. Anyway, they were a massive hit, and then the second wave just came out. So I actually just got the second wave. So you get like this, I don't really know their names or anything, but all the parts are interchangeable. The shin guards, the arms, all the weapons, shoulder pads, helmets.
It's got a Mythic Legion vibe to it, doesn't it?
Totally. That's immediately what I thought.
They're like Mythic Legions with Mafex articulation.
Okay,
I love to hear it.
That's almost like Storm, kind of what Storm does with the Street Fighter figures a little bit and the MK stuff. Or this is even more detailed.
They're very similar to like a Storm articulation system. Yeah. They are a little limited, right? It's a little company. And then I got a couple of in package ones. I haven't quite opened yet. That one kind of looks like you, Dave.
Combatants, yeah. Dude, this
one's
never even heard of them
moving forward.
So where do you pick these up at?
So I've got my first wave from 5K Toys on Instagram. That was another one that I never heard of them. They were the only ones carrying it at the time. Like kind of a big gamble there to just send someone $200 for 3 figures you never heard of. But after that first wave was such a success, I saw that Empire Toy Shop Toy Fiend was carrying them, so I bought that second wave.
Okay, Toy Fiend, nice.
Yeah.
And that's a dude here in New York, right?
Yeah. And I've been trading with him for years, so
okay.
He's got his own toy shop, EmpireToyShop.com. That's where I got those at.
Yeah, I've bought from him a few times.
Other than that, man, Maestro Hulk.
Okay, nice.
So, this showed up from Hasbro Pulse. I'm notorious for keeping my shit in the package and then opening it 6 months later.
Same, dude. Yeah, I have a stack. Yeah, I have a stack of Black Series I still got to open up, and I just wait until the weekend when I got time to myself. Enjoy some brewskis and just have a big opening session.
Natter days, baby.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought I was gonna end my streak, and then. Shout out In Pursuit Toys in Arizona. He posted a clearance find on you guys know Playmobil, the kind of Lego stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was
Lego. It's Lego-ish.
Yeah, dude. He had the
oh shit, that's cool.
At Walmart.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, the DeLorean. I think it was $55. It comes with Marty and Einstein and Doc and I think it was basically half off. So I got it for almost $25. So I picked that up and built that right away. And it's just a cool little, goes on my shelf over my podcast stuff. It's not going to go in a DTOF or anything like that, but I
got good shelf presence, doesn't it?
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. Cool stuff.
I like those that you can actually play with, right? You're not worried about touching it all the time.
Yep. And yeah, I'd like to get I think they have an Ecto 1, but I think it's the Answer to the Call like themed, and it comes with the cast, which is totally fine. I mean, but it's it came out, you know, when that movie did, so I think it's probably a little higher on the resale, but I want to get that, man. All right, well let's finally get into the good shit here. So let's jump right into Star Wars. Okay, so let's talk about Rancor. Rancor. Rancor.
Haslab.
Haslab. Sorry.
Yeah.
What an absolute clusterfuck.
What a loser.
Yeah, dude, that was I was dying. I immediately I think I saw Yakface post it, and then I immediately went to the video before, like, because I was thinking like, oh shit, like they're gonna try to take that video down. So I was like scrambling to watch that video right away. And from
I'm willing to tinfoil hat this. I'm willing to tinfoil hat this. Do we think it was
on
intentional?
Purpose?
Because I mean, naturally, if you get someone out there being, "Oh my goodness, they leaked, the dudes misspoke," everyone's going to talk about that. If you just announce it and be like, "Oh, cool," I feel like you get more traction because the guy's getting heat. But you know, I think possibly because I think he's narcissistic enough to where he could possibly do that. So I think possibly it was a staged leak.
I think
no.
Go ahead, Dave.
No. I don't think so at all. I'm not giving them that much credit to have that strategy mindset. Yeah, dude, no way. What do you think, Jade?
Dude, he's like notorious for just stumbling on his words a little bit. So I think if you've watched enough of those, he just messed up.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
I mean, dude, if I was in Vegas and they had a bet on this, I would have gone all in on the Rancor. There was the only other kind of option that people were thinking about was something with the Cantina. And as soon as, spoiler, but we're going to be talking about, what they're kind of showing for the Hasbro con, but like they're doing the Cantina. So it's like, that's off the board then. So what else do you have on the table? Vehicles are off the board. Cantina's off the board. It's got to be something Jabba Palace related, whether it was Rancor or I was kind of pulling for the like some sort of palace diorama, but because I just don't know if I need a 6-inch scale Rancor. But
I think we all know the answer to that. You do, and I do as well.
You already passed on the statue. This is an opportunity to get it, something that's actually fully articulated. And that's a question I'd love to pose to you guys: is how big is this thing going to be? Will it have joints? Will it be fully posable? What are we thinking here, guys?
It's going to be big for sure. I would say you're looking at. There's another Haslab I'm sure we're going to talk about. It's probably going to be somewhere in that range and probably around that price range as well, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little depending on what it comes with, right? If they throw a curveball and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to add, a dungeon gate or something like that," I could see it getting in that kind of Galactus price range, but I bet it's just a little over 300, but it ain't going to be more than $400. I do want to kind of get you guys' take on the tiers. Like, what do you guys think will kind of be in there for tiers?
Well, that's something else I want to talk about when we actually get to the Galactus. Is it possible there are not any tiers? Because I know as of right now, and we'll talk about it once we get there, but I don't know. We'll open up this can of worms. I'm going to talk about it a little bit later on, but I wonder at some point what is going to be the first Haslab that isn't funded, because eventually there's going to come
Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster may not be funded. Oh, that is true. Is that the first one that wasn't?
Yeah, the only one.
Well, fuck me then.
Which I don't know about y'all, but I can go for a fucking 6-foot Cookie Monster right about now. I don't know how big it really was, but.
I can't remember how much it was, but I remember being like, dude, like it's not like I need like a screen accurate Cookie Monster. Like I could have settled for just like a fucking, you know, stuffy that I got at like Costco or something like that. But it was like, you could like pose it and everything. But yeah, I remember it being expensive. I was like, yeah, no thanks.
I like Cookie Monster, but not enough to pay for a Haslab of him.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like on that train of thought you were on, Kevin. I think we got spoiled with tiers. Like tiers weren't even really supposed to be a thing. And then
I think it just kind of
happened.
What opened it up to where no one expected that many, and just to keep the ball rolling, they're like, "This is just free money." I think that's where it spiraled out of control and
absolutely
set the precedent to where, well, what's next? What's next? You know, what's our next stretch goal? People love to bitch about everything. So
okay, but can I at least tell you guys what I'm a collector like you guys. I have unrealistic expectations for this. Can I go ahead and tell you what I think my tiers are going to be?
Yeah.
Other than the tiers from my wallet, it's going to be a Malakili Rancor Keeper.
I feel like that's like a no-brainer, right?
Ula, the dancer.
Okay.
And I'm thinking if it really, really is successful, you're going to get another Jedi Luke, because that was a Walmart exclusive. And after that episode of The Mandalorian, everyone was backpedaling for that. So I think you're going to get another Luke out of it with like some skull and bone pieces and shit like that. If we're going tiers, but I'm fully expecting 0 tiers on this. They know it's going to sell. Yeah, 100%. I don't think I'm with you, Kevin. I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go against you guys. I definitely think that like everything moving forward is going to have tiers. I think what they did with the sail barge, like you guys both said, was like something that they didn't plan. And they're like, I don't know if you guys remember that campaign. There was like there was a moment where it was like, this motherfucker's not going to get funded,
like,
and then
2 days, man.
Yeah. They had to inject some hype and stuff. And then, they were like, oh, this is working well. And then, I think part of their thing now. So, and I do remember Dan, I know we'll talk about it, but he did hint at tiers for Galactus. Obviously we haven't gotten anything, the official announcement on Rancor, but I definitely think we're going to get tiers. Maliki for sure. I don't think they have the balls to do Ula. If we're not going to get a Hutt Slayer, Leia, we're not getting a Nula. I'd like to see some sort of like you could take apart a Gamorrean guard. I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
And I want to see something that's not just figures for tiers, right? Like, like I said, like I have no idea how, but like some gate kind of prop, would be that'd be sick. Again, I don't know how they could kind of do something maybe that, that could be part of the packaging or, something that you could display behind him. But yeah, they got to do something else than just like, here's some more figures for tiers, something that go along with the Rancor, And I don't know if you guys saw, but like the next day they released a statement on StarWars.com announcing the Rancor. And it was like 2 sentences. It was like, later this year, we're getting the Rancor, Haslab, further details coming soon,
I love the banner art that they put for that. It literally was just like the gate that said Haslab. I'm like, wow, you guys put that together in about 32 seconds.
Yeah, damage control.
Do you think there will be something big with this? And because they have to make a splash with their announcement. So do you think something big is going to happen? Like they're going to be like, yeah, duh, we're getting a Rancor, but like, this is fucking what we're really getting to.
I don't know, man. I think they'll just do here's our announcement. They're just going to ignore it and just kind of ignore the noise and act like we don't know about it and just do like a generic reveal. I feel like that's kind of their protocol. Like all the stuff that they reveal, like they know like we know about stuff, and then they're like, oh, here's our, we're gonna reveal this, and it's like that's why every time they say like, oh, we're on the same page with the fans, and it's like ultimate eye roll. It's like, are you really on the same page with fans? We love you guys, but a lot of people already have this figure, and you're just revealing it now.
Is it too much to ask for it to be a seamless body type of thing?
I don't think so. And I like, Heath asked me this question over on the Cantina. I think rubber would be really cool, but we're probably going to get like hyper detailed painting, if I had to guess.
Hard plastic kind of. Yeah. It almost needs to be like a fucking Street Shark.
Yeah, I mean, might as well. I mean,
calm down, Kevin.
Maybe that's one of the tiers is that you'll get to unlock like a Jedi Street Shark to go along with it. I'd be all for it.
Or they could do, spoiler alert, if you guys are watching Bad Batch, you could get a little baby Rancor to go along with it.
See, I'd be for that. I'd be for that too.
A little Moochie. Give me a little Moochie.
Little Moochie. That's right. Cute little bastard. All right. Well, let's get into the next, Black Series news. We got our guy, the savior. Some people call him the savior. Baby. So what do you guys think about this? We're talking to Star Wars: The Black Series Trapper Wolf.
I think it's incredible. I mean, if you think about the three people that have action figures made of themselves from Star Wars, it's Jon Favreau as the Heavy Mando. We have Trapper Wolf as Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni as Trapper Wolf, and George Lucas from back in the day. And I think that goes to show you just how much control those two, specifically right now, have, speaking into Star Wars. And to make this kind of like an exclusive that, I mean, it's got the same Armorer packaging, Cad Bane packaging, and such like that. People worship this guy, and I mean, he is, the heir apparent, to what George was supposed to kind of handed the keys over. I mean, he's the last George protege. And I mean, it's a simple thing. I mean, it's literally just an X-Wing body with, a Filoni head on it. But this is as fan service as you can get, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's great. I really do like the kind of packaging. I think, was it the armor? I think the armor was the first one that we got in this packaging, and I'm a big fan of it. Kind of a hot take. I just want a regular Dave Filoni, like we got.
They should have at least put the cowboy hat. They should have at least put the cowboy hat in the package.
Like with the Marvel Legend Stan Lee. Like I want a regular. I want two versions of George Lucas. I want a young George and I want an old billionaire George, and then I want a Dave and I want a John and I want a fucking John Williams, like in normal garb.
I would pay for a John Williams. That'd be good.
Dude, if I don't get a Uncle George in Nike Monarchs, I'm gonna fucking riot. Because now I want that more than I've ever wanted any figure before.
Nike Monarchs, holy shit, yeah, yeah, and his whatever plaid shirt that he's wearing, yeah.
I think this is cool, man. Like you said, and like I was saying earlier, this is the kind of shit that needs to be exclusive. Like you don't put in
perfect.
A Vader or a Boba Fett as an exclusive. This is supposed to be an exclusive. So very, very pumped on that. Is it too much to ask that I want Carson now?
Yeah, well, and what's funny, on that stream, they talked about it wasn't so much about making a character for Dave. It was about, Trapper Wolf.
Filling out the Mandalorian characters.
Yeah, so that kind of made me think, all right, well, we're gonna get the other dude then, his co-pilot, is that what you were talking about? Sorry.
Yeah, Paul Sun Hun Young Lee.
Yeah,
he's like a huge Star Wars fan.
Massive.
Cosplays within the 501st and everything. So it would probably, I can't speak for him, but it would, if it was me, it'd make my fucking life to have a Star Wars canon figure made after me.
Yeah, I feel like if they weren't, like, if that wasn't on their radar to make that figure of that character, the fact that he is such a massive fan, that might sway them to make that figure. But yeah, I mean, it needs to happen, especially once they said that, like, it wasn't so much about it wasn't anything about making a figure of Dave. It was about the character Trapper Wolf. So I was like, okay, well, let's get the other dude then. So
and I think Rick Famuyiwa and Deborah Cho both were X-Wing pilots as well, right? Like, give them all to us. Like,
yep.
keep the exclusive train rolling.
Yep. All right. Well, speaking of an exclusive train, this is going to be their other product that they're going to have at their con. This is the Black Series Power of the Force Cantina Showdown. It's identical to that that kit. I mean, I don't know. Did you guys have that one? The Power of the Force 2 set? I never had this one. I had the one. I had like the one with the Jabba the Hutt dancers, and I think the Death Star like escape of like Luke and Leia, swinging. But I never had this one.
This one looks so good, but at the same time, there's so much negativity already around it. My favorite part about this is that you get the double hands for Ponda Bubba. You get the little,
very cool. Yeah,
you get the little Aqualish, the little what am I looking? Flipper hands. You get your flipper hands, which is really really cool. And so, but I mean, let's address the elephant in the room. Is that they specifically said that for this you have to buy 2 if you want to complete the bar. And I think that is what is the biggest misstep about this. The figures look incredible, but why would you buy 2 of them? If it'd be different if it came with 2 stormtroopers or something like that. But these are 3 named characters, and for $105, I mean, goodness, I feel like you'd have to end up paying probably $105 for the other side on eBay to get the other piece. I think it's a big misstep.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Jade.
No, I will say that I get that, but at the same time, it gives me hope that they're going to release this in numbers where they expect everybody to order 2 of them.
But what purpose would you have to get 2 of them? Because what are you going to do with the other 3 figures?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that would take the figures off your hand. Probably not the Obi-Wan Kenobi so much, but definitely the Dr. Ebazan and Ponda Baba. You'll at least recoup some of your money back, but that's kind of the route I'm thinking about, and they know that too. A lot of us buy multiples already, right. So I think they expected that.
And I mean, it's rumored that we're getting these guys individually packed anyway. So
I believe it.
If you're RIP to the OCD completist collectors out there that are going to buy 2 of these fucking things, and then the individual figures are going to have fucking 3 Ponda Babas, by the end of the year. That's
you could always, kit bash it, especially if you got the different little hands. I guess you could put it on different bodies, and especially because they were, in the Mandalorian and such like that. I guess if you put them on some different bodies, I mean, you can use those heads and arms for something.
Yeah. I'm gonna be one of those suckers who buys 2 of these for sure. But it gives me hope that maybe down the line, as more exclusives come out, that we'll get more Cantina play sets like this. Maybe they'll release 4 of them at some point, because I think 4 of them is what it's going to take to build a full fucking
circle, oval or whatever. Yeah, and I was looking to see. I was like, man, are they going to even have like a limit per one on here? But it because that would have just been like little ass backwards. But it doesn't.
Right,
it looks you need 2, but you can only buy 1. It's awesome seeing there's no pictures of the packaging, but I just love that fucking green packaging. It's just like such a throwback seeing that stuff back in the day. That
Power of the Force card backs, like I still have a hard time of not picking them up when I see them.
I know, man.
All over the place. If they're like $5, like, oh, let me take you home. Like, I have to. Beautiful.
At that point, you're doing a service. You're clearing them out, giving them a home. That's a good thing.
Exactly.
It's like a rescue puppy. You're just taking care of it.
Just hate it after like a month.
All right. Well, let's. So we got the vintage collections answer for the Hasbro PulseCon here, and this thing is sweet. They don't have the pictures of the display, but did you guys see that, how this thing fucking opens up?
I did. Yeah, there was an Instagram live. I think it was 2 people. None of them spoke English, but they were kind of unboxing it, and it opens up. You get like the full Emperor's throne room, which looks fantastic, and for $32, that's a freaking steal if you ask me.
Go ahead, Jade. Sorry.
They definitely, it's cool that they incorporated it like an environment piece. But like I have very strict rule. I have strict rules when it comes to collecting.
As you buy 3 Cantina sets.
Exactly. My vintage collection has to be on card. They've already said this isn't going to be on card, but the packaging itself is really, really cool. Yeah. I can skip it, but like the appeal is 100% there. Like it is a very cool piece to own.
Yeah, and for I failed to mention it for our audio listeners. We're talking about the vintage collection Emperor Throne Room. it looks rad. I wish they had pictures of how the packaging, I'm not sure how that works. Like, do you have to like wreck the box, how it has those flaps? It's almost like a children's pop out, book, or it
I
has
know
the
the one
sides
piece
of it.
is the top is a slip case, that comes right
Okay.
off. Yeah, that part's a slip case, and then on the inside there, there you go. That part just kind of slips off, and I think it's just kind of like plastic little pieces that you just kind of fold down.
Drops down, yeah.
Yeah, and just weight it down. I think it's cool.
I love that. I love when, they get creative with, packaging, and especially with the exclusive stuff. This thing's a banger. It looks great. But I'm not getting it.
I always say I don't need this. But if it's up long enough on Hasbro Pulse, it's one of those. If I'm in a dry spell, I'll probably scoop it.
Yeah, feeling froggy on a Friday night, just kind of cruising on eBay, and like you just want to buy something. Yeah,
we know how our eBay adventures go, Dave. So I mean, feel free, Jade, to do what you got to do, man.
I'm looking at a DTOF that is the result of Friday night eBaying. So yeah. Well, one thing I did want to point out that was done from that kind of Q&A panel that they had on was it Forlom Zuckus? He did it, and they got I don't know if Patrick mentioned it or some of the other guys, but they're one of them threw him a kind of hardball question. We're like, dude, like all these card stocks, they're getting fucked up. Like we know it's not necessarily a Hasbro issue, but you're the people that you're teaming up with, if it's Amazon's getting an exclusive, they're just not packaging them well, and we're collectors, and it just ruins the product, and so they did say at the end of this year or early next year, they're going to be getting harder card stock. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's definitely something like they're taking feedback, because I'm not an inbox guy, with vintage collection either. I mean, I feel bad getting kind of ripping them open, but I know that's a big deal. Someone gets a bent card stock, on a figure that they've been had on pre-order forever. So I thought that was pretty cool. I wanted to call that out.
Yeah, and one thing that they always mention is a part of collecting the vintage collection is the packaging itself, right? That's part of the appeal. So if it's anything like those carbonized ones, which is I'm thinking that's how thick they're going to go with them, that's a good move on their part. So I'm pumped for that.
Yeah.
Do you see them bumping the price up a little bit to accommodate it, though?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to go up another $2 or so.
At least $1, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who knows if it's directly because of that, or that was probably just something that was going to be coming down the pipe anyways. All right, Kevin, what do we got, man? 6 scale.
Yeah, let's jump into this, shall we? Because we got a lot to talk about. As you know, this is the con season, and there's all kinds of different things going on with the Hot Toys Summer Showcase, the Sideshow Con. So we're getting all kinds of different things, and as expected, we finally got the coming soon recommendation of Finnick. So that's going to go ahead and check that off our list. So that's coming. It says sign up for RSVPs for when that is ready to go. So let me know, Dave, if you need to get that. I think the biggest reveal from last week was probably going to be the Boba on the throne. That's the one that everyone really, really wants. But also we got some more, coming soons and teases of Casca Reeves, a.k.a. Sasha Banks. We got another Grogu coming. I put a little picture of that on there, of Grogu on the Seeing Stone. Now, this is the one I would kind of be interested in, just because it's different than all the other ones. And damn it, that one's really cute. But if you can't tell already, it's Mando. And that is where 6 Scale and Hot Toys knows that their money is tied up in those things. But I do want to say this, and I actually just released today a brand new video on my stunning YouTube channel called Somehow I Manage. And one of the things I talk about is how we manage our expectations when it comes to releases and reveals. And people are losing their minds over all of these wonderful reveals, but Hot Toys has a really bad track record of having them going to the graveyard of the coming soon page. And I think a lot of people forget about that, is that these are cons where people go and they make, life-size versions of, these figures that they put out there so you can see them. And it's simply for display purposes to get eyes on. So of those things that are revealed, we have to know that some of them probably won't see the light of day. And people get so pissed off about that. But I think it's important to know. But I think it's without a doubt, Finnick is going to happen. That's going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But did you guys get a chance to see any of the other reveals? And if so, which ones do you think never see the light of day?
Yeah, I did see pretty much everything. The battle droid is something that I that feels like that'll be a figure that we basically never see the light of the day. Or soon at least. I could see that kind of being like, Anakin Starfighter. That's just like they show it off at a con and it just really never goes up. But I'm pumped for Fennec, dude. That's a day one. The Boba Fett throne one, that was a day one. You and I spoke on that. I was such a noob. I was like, do I get the fucking collector edition or the?
You're damn right. You get the collector's edition.
You need those little holographic pieces, man. You need them.
Well, I was panicking. I totally had I was panicking. So I was like, oh, I gotta fucking do it quick. Thinking I was like a moron. Dude, it's not like it's gonna sell out right now. This isn't like a drop where it's just it's gone right away. But I was like, I wanted to make sure I got the right one, so I called in the fucking the expert.
That was a day one for me too, man. I didn't even do payment plan. I just said fuck it. I'm getting paid. I want it first. Gil, fucking get the hell out of here.
I was gonna say Black Hole Comics can go ahead and see himself out.
But
clown show.
Super pumped on that, and it's probably gonna. I don't think Kevin, you may correct me. I don't think they sell out a lot. This is probably one that's gonna sell out. This is gonna get waitlisted.
I definitely see that being something that's real. So, as I've told before, this is a long game that you have to play. It's a patience is key type of things. We get super hyped about these expectations and be like, oh, where's my figure? And then the hype dies, 18 months later. And then you're just like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that. But I think Boba Fett is somebody that has staying power, especially because of how the Book of Boba Fett, it's going to be starting to be released around the time that Book of Boba Fett will probably be wrapping up, if I were to guess. So the hype is going to be there. It's going to be exciting, especially with Mando season 3. So yeah, all the Mando things, especially the Armorer, that was another one that was revealed as as an exclusive. I think that all the Mando stuff, if there's ever a figure that you say, I do not want to miss this, just pre-order it. Put it on a payment plan. Put a non-refundable deposit down. I mean, if you can't, stretch $40 or so for the Boba Fett over a 2-year period, then maybe that's not the thing for you. But I mean, just get your order in. That way you don't have to, say, oh man, I don't know, I'm gonna wait. But then as soon as it sells out or wait list, hey, who do I need to go to get this for retail? Because we don't play that game here. I've sat there and roasted these peoples forever when they're like, hi, I know, where can I go and where can I get a Sentinel, at retail? I'm willing to pay maybe $5 over, but that's about it. I was like, bitch, you had the time to put your pre-orders in on these things. So all that to say is that there's going to be some things, unfortunately, that from the con that don't make it to the light of day. Don't be too disappointed. Enjoy what is coming. But speaking of what is coming, we do have confirmation that we had a release today, that being the Coruscant Guard. And I don't know about you, but that's a really cool one. You can kind of double that with your Palpatine if you have that one. Put it right next to an actual Royal Guard. The red and the white always look super cool. So the Coruscant Guard, Clone Guard is officially out and about. I got mine on its way from Pop Collectibles, so I'm excited about that. So lots of good stuff coming, with Star Wars and the 6-scale world. And there's even more coming in the Marvel world, but we'll talk about that when we get down to it.
So Jade, I know you said that you're with your Hot Toys, you're kind of just in the Mandalorian space. Do you have anything non-Mandalorian? Like, would you go after this guard, for example?
As beautiful as it is, I have to stick to my rules.
Yeah,
and it's not just. it's not just Mandalorian, it's Din Djarin, right? Like I even
okay.
I broke my rules this week ordering Boba Fett on the throne. Okay, that's a no-brainer. You have to get that. My co-host.
Do you have
Heath,
the blurg though? That kind of goes with Din Djarin.
Oh man, don't get me started. I need
you
a
could
blurg.
justify it, yeah.
I need an army of blurgs if we're being truthful here. But Heath talked me out of the re-armored version with like the acid-pocked armor, and
yeah,
he's
I
like,
agree on that one.
Pretty much, he was like, "Get the repaint." I'm like, okay, repaint is where it is.
Yeah, that's I have the Kenner Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett hot toy, and then this is my second one is the throne one that I just picked up. I thought of getting that 2-pack, you know, what are we calling that when he's just like in his Tusken Raider garb?
Yeah, we just called that Hobo Fat and Boba Fat. Hobo for that one.
Hobo with the shotgun. Yeah, I got it. All right. Well, what else we got? Okay, grab bag, dude. Yeah. So I'm excited to talk about these. So do you, Jade, do you fuck with Gentle Giant at all?
A little bit. You know, I've actually got a couple of the 1/6 busts. Obviously Din Djarin. But other than that, not so much. But I'm come on, man! Like I need this, right?
Dude, this is sick,
I feel like
dude.
I need this. I have the 3 3/4 5 POA one, like which is great. And
yep.
The only thing, and I've said this on Cantina, I'm not into the vinyl. I wish that they did the vinyl so different, right? I wish it was more of like a draped
and not
cape.
Something that's like like
a jacket.
Yeah.
But it looks great.
I dig it. I mean, it definitely has the Kenner vibe, just like, the capes that came with, the figures. So
right.
I'm okay with it. Yeah. So we're talking about the jumbo figures that Gentle Giant does. And this is just the original Mandalorian gear. It's actually a Premier Guild exclusive. So if you're a Premier Guild with Gentle Giant, you can get it, but it's also a Big Bag toy shop exclusive. So I mean, I got this on pre-order right now. I mean, that's in my pile of loot. I have one other of these jumbo figures. I have a Bosk that I keep obviously in package, but I think this one would just be like, I got to take this one out, and I like the scale of it and the fact
you
that
need to show me this Bosk because I don't think I've ever seen it, my friend.
Oh yeah, dude. I'll get it down here in a second. But this thing's a banger. Like I said, you can get it now on Big Bad if you guys want that. And then the next thing is something that I've been fucking all over for like a while. I think I've talked about this for a couple months now. There's rumors about it, and then we finally had Lego had like their kind of con, if you will, a few weeks ago, and dude, they finally fucking released this, and this is the Republic Gunship USC, and this thing is massive, dude. They did like a comparison shot where they showed the big Millennium Falcon, and they showed this like over it, and the wingspan is bigger than the Falcon, and it's almost like the size of the Star Destroyer that they did. So this it doesn't look that big in the just on the box art, but dude, it's massive. I mean, what is it? Yeah, 3,200 pieces. This thing is sick, dude. August 1st, you can get it $350. I'm definitely going to go after this one. I only have, well, I guess it's a UCS. I have the Slave one, and then I have the Probe Droid that they just kind of dropped. But I love these UCS sets, man. I want to get the A-Wing too. Do you mess with Lego at all, Jade?
I've got the Razor Crest.
Okay.
But I haven't got any other ones yet, and I haven't even built them. I see the appeal. I have a young one around, so it's like I'm not ready. Well, we're not there yet. You know what I mean? So I try to keep the little pieces to a minimum.
Yeah. How old's your kid?
3.5. Yeah.
So I mean, like, they start growing up, like that's when it's fun. Like my son's 5, and like we like build Legos together. Like we just did the Avengers Tower, and he did the the helicarrier, the Avengers helicarrier, and he's doing, he's 5, and he's like doing like 9+, like he hasn't
awesome.
done an 18+ yet, but like it's fun. It's fun to do that shit.
There's a moment of pride when you can see your kid, putting together that stuff, right?
Totally.
I'm afraid if it's not Trolls or Frozen, I'm probably not going to be able to.
No interest, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, that was it for the grab bag. Let's mosey on over to tipping the scales.
Guys, if you want to talk about some heat that came from our Sideshow Con, what if I were to tell you that Hot Toys is going to be getting into the diorama game? Ladies and gentlemen, we now have the Navarro Safe House diorama from Hot Toys. Now, I struggled with whether or not this considers tipping the scales, but this kind of is because it's different than, I don't really know where to put this, so I put it right here. But what do you guys think about this, being able to get actual diorama pieces for Hot Toys and 6-scale collecting?
It's beautiful. It's huge. And I love it. That's let me sum it up.
I see display being a huge issue, but my question is this something that is part of the coming soon, or is this kind of like Anakin Starfighter, something that never will be made? But I feel like this is the first time that they've shown this. Thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel like you're on the money there. I could see this being something that doesn't see the light of the day for a long time. When it does, though, I mean, dude, you want to talk about a fucking game changer. I just hope that they have enough foresight to understand that, the majority of people that have Hot Toys have them in DTOF. So I hope that they fucking make the dimensions and stuff so this will fit in a DTOF.
Well, I mean, you can already look and tell that it's wider. I mean, that looks like
wide.
Yeah, that looks like it's 24 inches easily. Right. So this is going to have to go on bookshelves or on something. It's going to make it a challenge for display, no doubt. But damn it, if they start doing this type of shit, I'm in lots and lots of trouble.
And you go ahead, Jade.
I was going to say, it's amazing. I agree with y'all that it's probably something we're not going to see. But for photographers like Kevin, your photography is amazing when it comes to 1/6. This is something that just would take it next level. I'm sure you could agree with that.
Oh, totally. Yeah. If you have real world scaled pieces for that, I mean, it's fantastic.
And I think it's very obvious that they do this to gauge interest. They know how big the toy photography community is.
Right.
So this is something that's like a 50-50. It very easily could be made, but it very easily could be put on the back burner and we'll never see it.
Right.
What would you think a cost for this would be? I mean, if you think about those figures that are standing there right now, that's $250 for those figures. Do you think this ends up being like a $300, $400, $500 piece?
So do you guys buy dioramas from makers or anything like that?
I don't, because I don't have the space for it.
It's going to be expensive, I would imagine. If it's anything like what you're paying for a custom piece, I know this is mass marketed.
If you think about the Jazz Inc. type pieces, such as the Falcon cockpit or those Batmobiles and stuff. I mean, you're talking thousands, and
it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be more than a figure, that's for sure. More than a die-cast figure, even,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting. What? I mean, are you getting the kind of floor here? I mean, what are they showing off? Is it just that wall and the little brick, cube there? So
yeah, because there's obviously depth to it because there's another figure behind it. So I want to see this in person. I would love to see it happen, but kind of just they call me Solo. What he just said a second ago is that we're years out from this ever being in our collection. So I guess we'll address it when we get there.
I mean, if something like this does drop, dude, that can be a whole nother line that they can do that can be extremely successful. Can you just imagine just the space walls? You know what I mean? Just getting space walls. Dude, fuck. And especially like I said, put them in a DTOF. I mean, I got something. Spoiler alert, but I'm working on something with my buddy, and we're rolling something out that is made for a DTOF that is similar.
I can vouch. I would be a fan of this.
Photography, and it's not gonna run you $400, but I mean, yeah, dude, having an actual, something with depth and everything on a shelf. I mean, I don't think there's a collector out there that wouldn't want something, like this, if the price is right. All right. Well, yeah, dude. Awesome. Yeah. And this fits for tipping the scale. I'll give you that. This fits.
Okay.
I like
Thank
it.
you. I didn't want to strike against me, but good to know. Thanks, man.
All right. Well, this is to me, this is like the main entree of this show. So let's get right into it.
Yo, Joe! He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. G.I. Joe, American hero.
Jade,
All right.
don't you love our freaking transitions? I mean, they're so damn good. But go ahead.
I do.
Sorry about that.
I do.
So we fucking talked about it. I had my tinfoil hat on. I don't know how long ago I've had my tinfoil hat on about how you can see with Super7, they have a cadence for how they roll shit out. And, they've teased about breaking the internet and whatnot. Well, we finally got it. We finally got Super7's ultimate G.I. Joe figures and their cartoon, iterations, variations, or the cartoon style, which I'm so fucking thankful that they went that route, because I can justify maintaining my classified collection. I don't have to get rid of that, so because I was going to get these no matter what. If these were like going to be classified style, the Hasbro classifieds were going to be on the way out, and then I was going to be pivoting to Super7. So I get to maintain both of these. So these look fantastic. This wave is a great wave. We got a bat, we got Cobra Commander, we got Snake Eyes, and we got Duke. So what do you guys think about these? Were you guys surprised that they they're doing ultimates? Do you think that we have almost too many Joes now? It's funny how we didn't have any Joes for 15 years or something. Now we got Hasbro, we got Super7, we got Mezco, we got 3-0, we got fucking Jazzware. We got a lot of other vendors doing the Hasbro license, the G.I. Joe Hasbro license. So what do you guys think?
The thing that sticks out about this one is how unique they are compared to the other lines that are already out there. If you were to look at any of the other ones, they're kind of like the hyper-real versions, whatever you want to call it. But this is strictly cartoon. This is animated.
Yeah.
And damn it, if I wouldn't say that this would, if I were to go down the G.I. Joe rabbit hole, this is the one I would go on, because I mean, they look so iconic, and this is what we all grew up with when we're, the transition, that you just played right before we got here.
Yep.
This is what it's from, the G.I. Joe cartoon show, and these are fun, these are cool, and I think that you get so much with it. And I would love to see what the other line is going to be, but this is 4 stellar options. 2 good guys, 2 bad guys. You got the Bat, which everyone loves. You got Cobra, which looks fantastic, and you got Duke, and you got Snake Eyes there. I'm blown away by it, and especially the electric missing head. That's pretty awesome there.
So sick, right?
There's a lot going on here now. After this reveal, I kind of was a sigh of relief, right? Like, I'm all in on Joe classifieds. I've become all in on the Joe Mezcos. The animated stuff is very near and dear to me, but it's not something I necessarily have to have.
Right.
And with Super7, I don't really collect Super7 at all. I actually don't own any Super7 figures, so the articulation kind of is at question for me.
Yep.
But with that being said, I'll probably get all of these, man. I think they're going to look great in package. I think their Ultimates line is fantastic, and I'd really like to see them get, like, I think this is where you're going to get your weird characters, is here
from Super7.
Yeah.
For sure. I think that too. I think we'll get, they're obviously got a lot of catching up to do to get up to Hasbro, but if how they do their waves, like Thundercats, right? So there's, I believe, 4 waves. We only have 1, but they've announced 3 waves. I think we're supposed to, there was something that happened with wave 2. Wave 3 is actually coming first, but they're really behind on getting the figures out. I mean, that's the one thing that sucks about Super7. You got to wait. but you don't have to, go and, try to
you're
act
not
like you're
chasing
foreign
these
drug
down,
from
yeah.
Target. Yeah. So you don't have to worry about hunting these down. You just get your order, but you're waiting. But I think we'll get figures. That being said, I think we'll get figures out of Super7, even though they're behind, before we get them from Hasbro. Like I could see like the next wave, we get like Shipwreck or just kind of some more, obscure characters. That BAT, the head options. I mean, that little electric effect is so sick. Yeah, I'm with you, Jade. The articulation is definitely something that they're not known for. It's almost like primitive. There's really
that's
none.
the best way to put it.
But if you're going to be having a line like this that is kind of vintage, but as also, cartoony, do you really want super articulation? Because there's a little bit of charm to this if you look at it like that. It's almost like it's 3 3/4 type articulation, and there's a little bit of charm to it. I'm just looking at the Cobra Commander, how neat those legs look, and I like that. And maybe I'm weird, but man, I think these looks fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm okay with not having the most articulated figures, because I'm not a photographer. I'm not doing a ton of posing. I kind of just put my guys in almost like vanilla poses for the most part.
You just care more about the shelf presence.
Yeah. So, and if they can look better because they don't have pins and all this extra stuff that maybe your extra articulation might do to your figure, I'm cool with that. But yeah, dude, these look so great. I feel like it's a home run as far as the selection of this wave. Dude, the accessories are so fucking fun, dude. Like the Cobra with the world. Dude,
I didn't see you had the world around it. That's pretty sweet.
So let me preface this by saying Roadblock is one of my favorite Joes, but it's refreshing to see to take a break on Roadblock for a minute.
yeah. You're not your third Roadblock, right? That we've gotten so far. So did
Fourth,
you go? Yeah. Did you go after that Mezco Roadblock then?
Oh yeah. I sure did.
See, I had the Destro Mezco on pre-order, and then I was getting ready to buy that Roadblock one, and then I was like, well, I gotta hold on, because I was holding out for Super7, because I was like,
gotta see what they're doing.
Yeah, dude, I'm not fucking collecting like 4 versions of G.I. Joe. So
I just want Roadblock to be holding his big, roux pot and cooking spatula and chef's hat. Like that's how I'm gonna have him forever.
Totally, dude. Yeah, well, these are great. You can get them directly through Super7. I believe the window is still open. I always get my shit through Big Bad when I'm buying Super7, so you can get it there if you want. But yeah, dude, these are fantastic, man. I'm really excited about that, and I feel like it's long time coming. I mean, we've had a inkling that we were going to be getting these. So next up, something that we've talked about a few times, when Sergeant Slaughter is coming, when's he coming to the Joe line? Well, kind of close. Mattel, is doing this, is in their wrestling line, but this is the fucking G.I. Joe version. This is the mail away G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter, and this thing.
You got to expect this to be the waterfall where they all just start trickling out, right?
Absolutely. I feel like it's a matter of time before we get a classified Sergeant Slaughter, and then naturally would get a Super7. Super7 does a ton of wrestling shit, so they could easily do a Sergeant Slaughter. But dude, this is the fucking version that I want.
I need this. Just he's gonna stick in with your classified series perfectly.
Perfect. Yeah, and it's funny. I was getting so anxious for getting a Sergeant Slaughter that I was like, I went ahead and I bought that Action Force version of him. It's him, but it's not this version. I kind of forget what version of clothing he's wearing, but I went ahead and bought that, and then I was like, well, as soon as this came out, I was like, I don't need that, I need this. So this drops, I believe this is going to drop on Mattel Creations site July 22nd at 9 a.m. PST, and I feel like this puppy is gonna I've never bought anything from like Mattel's site before, but I would think that this is going to sell out really quick.
Yeah, nor have I. And I think there's a lot of intricate legalities to Sergeant Slaughter's likeness. Like, I think that's why Action Force was able to secure it. I think that's why you're seeing Mattel do a WWE version, WCW version. I don't think we'll see one from Hasbro. I really don't. And that's why I think this is going to be so hot.
Yeah. I don't know, Kevin, you want to kind of go on what we talked about with him and Hasbro?
Yeah. So it was, what was that? 3 or 4 months ago, I believe he was at an autograph signing and someone asked him, hey, when are we getting your classified version? Blah, blah, blah. When are we getting another action figure review? And he said, well, I'm headed to Hasbro to meet with them. But then he kind of like stopped what he was saying and kind of retracted a little bit, but he kind of Patricked it, the situation, let us know that the Rancor was coming. But I really think, at the end of the day, these old people just want to make some money, towards the end of their life here. And I really think that when it comes down to it, I don't think he's going to, Richard Dreyfuss or Crispin Glover us. His likeness is out there. So let's just go and let's get as much money as we can now.
In the meantime, I'm going to have this guy in my classified collection.
Totally. Yeah. You can just sprinkle them in. I don't have any of the WWE figures to like put up, to check the scale, but I feel like they're a little, just barely
those
taller.
Ultimates are like 7.5 inches.
Which, it's Sergeant Slaughter. You can justify. He's a big motherfucker,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this thing's sweet.
Man,
dude.
look at that packaging. That is like pure Americana.
Yeah. So you're chasing this then, Jade?
Probably so, man. I think there's enough appeal here to where it would fit in my collection.
Yeah.
I like you don't collect anything wrestling or Mattel but I'm here for it for sure.
Okay. Well, next we finally got the official reveal of this is going to be their kind of their outing for the classified figure for the Hasbro Con or whatever, and it's the Zartan, and we didn't know about it, but this thing's going to change color, so it's temperature changing.
That's badass.
So he kind of changes color when he's cold or hot. I don't know if the regular is, I'm guessing room temperature. And then, if you get him, maybe it says right there, temperature activated. Yeah. So I don't know if he looks like this darker color when he's cold or hot, but pretty cool. But dude, I mean, look at this set, dude, just all the head sculpts that it comes with. The packaging is so sick. We talked about it before, but you can spin this fucking little wheel and it's got different heads that show up on the body. This is just totally how to do an exclusive, like we talked about, Jade, right? Like this thing's amazing.
I hope that they produce this in enough abundance like they did with the Supreme Commander, right? Was that the one they did?
Yep.
Which I think that's going to be the case. But this is definitely like it's an all-inclusive exclusive, right? Like it's packaging, it's everything that's incorporated.
Little extras.
Yeah.
The figures are a little bit different. Obviously, the temperature thing, of course, but like, his body armor, it's got some different paint on it. But
I think this is Hasbro's only second time in like modern toy making that they've done temperature change. Dryden Voss might have been the only other one. Yeah. Which I think he's cold. He's cold activated.
Right. Most people don't want you having to deal with like heat things and trying to melt your figure. So most of them always will be cold.
So like I told Matt, I'll never have a blue Zartan here in West Texas.
Yeah.
Unless you want to make like a little diorama freezer cooler type thing where it kind of just sits on an ice block. That'd be kind of sick.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, dude, that thing is sweet. I'm definitely going to be chasing that when it comes out. All right, well, let's get into the last segment. We got Marvel. I don't have a Marvel transition slide, so we'll just go right into it, Kevin. So what tell us about the Rancor.
Yes, exactly. We have the wall, but it's the big news. It's the big news everyone's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. That being the latest Haslab, the 36-inch, I believe it's 36 inches if I recall, Galactus. Now, here's where I want to get on this. Y'all know the details. Y'all know what it takes to get a Haslab up and running. You get 3 heads, got LEDs. This is a beautiful figure. This is sick. It's bigger than the Sentinel, but let's look at that target of 14,000 just to unlock this thing. What is going on? Did they just think that you can't army build a Galactus? Where did they get that number from? And do we think they'll hit 14,000?
That, my friends, is ordering too many Sentinels and setting the bar way too high. But I think there's enough appeal here to where it's like a one to rock, one to stock kind of situation. Yeah, I could see that. Is it greedy or is it good business sense? Right. I think it's good.
But with this though, if you buy one and then you pack, I mean, this is not just something you kind of like just sit on a shelf. I mean, you need some room to even store this bad boy. And I think it comes down to this. It's greed. And I mean, they know what they're doing. And forgive me for not knowing about Cookie Monster. I guess I messed up on that. But I thought this would technically end up being one of the ones that this potentially could not be funded. Now, I think there are enough Fantastic Four fans out there that would obviously push this across. And from what I'm reading, on the Reddit threads and such, that this is technically at a better pace than the sail barge was as well. But 14,000, I mean, that's a lofty goal. I mean, they're just a hair over half as of this right now. And all the people that really wanted it already got it. So what are you going to do to entice the other 6,000 people to drop $400 on this?
Yeah. I think I got kind of two things on this. One, we saw the size of that Sentinel box. This is even bigger. So the box on this is going to be like a fucking refrigerator.
It's a refrigerator, yeah.
This thing is going to be huge. And two, Jade, to your point, talking about you can't this might have been a product. This 14,000 number might be a product of people buying too many Sentinels, and it's also people catching on ever since the sail barge, when people saw that, okay, like, fuck, that thing only cost $500 and I sold Yakface for $400 and then the barge for $1,500.
But you can't do business like that. You can't assume everything is going to just, triple in retail. And that's how you end up sitting with shit that you don't need. And because the demand is not going to be there for it, especially if there's 14,000 of them already out there.
Hasbro doesn't care if you or I buy two of them. They're expecting us to buy two of them.
They can suck my dick then.
But again, that 14K mark, that is crazy because that
is the highest one they've ever had. I understand like putting the benchmarks out there and it's like, hey, let's do, but you went from the Sentinel was 6,000. You literally triple that to say, okay, let's go to 14,000. That doesn't make sense to me. It'd be different if you could army build it. And I understand they got 22,000, I think, with the Sentinels or whatever it may have been. But this is not something that you army build, mainly because, I got a lot of space, but I don't have space for this. I still don't. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
With that being said, I'm not even like I haven't backed this one. I'm probably not going to. It's too big.
And it's right on the heels of the Sentinel. The people that are Marvel Legends collectors. It would have been different if you had the Rancor come out and then you did this one, maybe because there's some people that don't do Star Wars, do Marvel, but to do back-to-back Marvel. That's literally double dipping, and you're expecting someone to drop $1,000, at least to get those two figures.
One thing that rubs me raw with this is that people don't even have the Sentinel in hand. Like I didn't back the Sentinel. It's not for me. It's too big. It doesn't fit my collection. They don't have that in hand. If they had that in hand, I could see them maybe hitting this 14,000 bench. Like, this thing's fucking badass. Like I want to buy the Galactus. But yeah, that kind of rubs me raw. But are we kidding ourselves? This thing's probably gonna get backed. I would imagine it's gonna be backed.
Here's my prediction. I feel like it will get backed, and I feel like it's gonna look like dicey for a while, like up until like the day 5. Like I don't think this is gonna get backed until like down to the wire, and then there's gonna be a surge. That was kind of like the sail barge, whether it was a lot of people were like, oh, well, there's no way just there was 2,000 backers in whatever it was 36 hours or whatever, and people are thinking that was kind of bullshit numbers.
Stop the count.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think this is going to go down to the wire. Like I don't see this getting funded in the next 10 days or anything like that.
Well, you got 41, so I mean, is there really that much gap to make up in 41 days? I don't really think so.
Right. Yeah, I mean, again, it goes down to the army builder aspect. Like, dude, the only people that are buying too are the people that are thinking they're going to flip it or going to keep it on ice. But there's no one that's buying more than 2 of these, and the average person is just buying 1. So.
Did you guys back this? I'm gonna just kind of
no, I did not.
Nah, it's not for me.
No, and last thing I'll say on this is that the whole idea of trying to flip it and get it for double, triple retail is the exclusivity of it. With the sale barge out there, there's 6,000-7,000 of them floating around. At minimum, there will be 14,000 of these out there, and so I think that this idea that you can just buy them to double your profit later on. I think eventually there's going to be a lot of people sitting with a lot of figures on their hand that they can't move, and kind of like what they just said a minute ago, you may be able to break even on it, hopefully. But interesting to see. We got 41 days until it's backed. Kind of like what they just said. If you haven't seen the Sideshow maquette, that's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
But speaking of Sideshow, from the con, let me transition quickly. We got some good news of the Mysterio being released, and guys, we're actually getting the Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt. And this was supposed to be something that was kind of teased when it was first revealed, and then it got blurry, and then they took it away. But then they told us last night when it was released, hey, you guys are getting a Quentin Beck Jake Gyllenhaal head sculpt. Is it the best? No, but it's free. And I mean, I'm certainly not going to display my Mysterio without the fishbowl. But I think this is cool that we got Mysterio coming. But I wanted to add this piece that we close with, and we got some big news out of Mando. Guys, have you seen this that goes on sale this Friday?
Yeah.
That being the Mando animated Wolverine.
Let's just get to the packaging, because that's all that everyone cares about. This
there it is.
Thick as that, dude.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing here, man.
I mean, it's the meme that everybody loves. I mean, but it looks good. I mean, it's a 12-inch figure that looks incredible, and you get a lot of stuff with it. So I know that this is going to be a hot ticket item. Someone actually sent this to me that is actually sitting here listening right now, because I didn't know it was available on Friday. So they said, don't tell anybody it's available Friday, but it is available Friday. Okay. So make sure to, if you want this, get an account and see if you can't get it. It looks cool. It's got some shelf presence. I love that effect. Yeah, that's and it's a big piece. So I think it's worth it. $200, like it said, but I mean, you can just put that bad boy on your shelf of him looking at the picture on the bed. I think it's fantastic. So much fun.
It is.
Yeah, I think I would make sure mint inbox that. There's no reason to take that out.
They probably win for most creative packaging for Comic-Con so far.
I love that shit, dude. Yeah, that's solid, man. Yeah, will there be a swap out Rogue's ass picture frame? Oh my god.
I hope so.
All I know is that some of the comments in this show have been fantastic. So thank you everybody that have been contributing and giving us this absolute heat out there. So funny.
Yeah, this has been awesome, man. Jade, thank you again for coming on here, dude. This is a blast, dude. We covered a lot of ground, dude. And not even
2
an
weeks
hour and a
worth,
half.
man.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is good, dude. Yeah. So thanks again, man.
I appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, dude. Do you how about go ahead and plug, where can we find you? Where can we find the Geek Out Show and all that good stuff, dude?
So, I'm at JRU Toys on Instagram. That's where I'm mostly messing around at. You can find us
trolling.
Yeah, I'm mostly trolling everybody and posting pickups here and there. You can find us at the Geek Out Show on any podcast platform, also on YouTube at the Geek Out Show Network. And you'll see all of our shows, the Peanut Gallery, Cantina, Three Bros, One Show, Major's Picks. Dude, we got a bunch of them. What's the issue? We're going to just keep rolling out shows as long as people are listening to them.
I love it. I do have to ask one last question. How many Natter Days and adult beverages did you crush while you've been sitting on this show today?
Oh my go.
Just this many, not too many.
I don't know if that rivaled my our birthday shot show.
No, certainly
that was
didn't
pretty
either.
fun.
Yeah, no, this has been a lot of fun, guys, and I've been a day one listener, so I'm really glad you guys invited
Thank you,
me
brother.
on and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, this has been great. We'll do it again, man. And listeners and viewers, thank you guys. Yeah, today's episode is a banger, dude. It was everyone in the chat. Thank you guys for talking trash and having fun with us, man. So we'll do it again next week. And Jade, thanks again, brother. And have a good night, everybody.